Three, two, one. Hey, you guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be making a beat on Studio One Professional version 4 or 4.0 or Studio One 4, however you want to call it. Um, I know everything's the new hot stuff is on FL Studio Loops, but I've always worked with Studio One, and since I'm going to be making beats again and trying to sell them or make something out of music, once again, I decided to go ahead and show you guys a tutorial on how I make beats and on Studio One. It's nothing crazy, nothing fancy, but yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch views and continue on from a screen version on making a beat in Studio One. So I hope you guys enjoy and keep, let me know. All right, so we are in Studio One, and there is something here that I was just testing out, ensuring that it came out. There's just a loop that came out of the recording. Just I was testing out my equipment. This is the first time I use Studio One to make a beat, or this is the first time I actually ever make a tutorial. So, or any type of things using Studio One or any type of teaching stuff. So I hope you guys like it. So this is when you open a blank canvas on Studio One. That's kind of what you guys get. I'm not too familiar with the new versions and how kind of that works because I haven't gotten the upgrade. But yeah, so let's make a beat. So lately, I do have a few third-party plugins that I use, and lately I've been messing around with the Slate digital plugin. So I usually just don't use loops. I make everything kind of from scratch. I do use loops, or um, I would say I used to use loops. Now that um, I'm trying to get back into like making beats and stuff like that, I'd rather just make my own than potentially have a complication when it comes to selling beats or selling music or licensing music to any like publication or just trying to get placements, either for background music or actually working with artists or bands and making some music and shit. So yeah, so lately I've been, just messing around with Anna 2 from Slate. So I don't know. I hope my shit doesn't crash, and if it does, I do apologize, and I'll try to continue on from the video and as much as it saves, because I've never worked with like a virtual voice meter and OBS and my Studio One all in one. So I can imagine the CPU is gonna probably be used up a little bit. So yeah. So this is how Anna looks. I'm gonna just put it on my other screen, or fuck it, I'll leave it in this one just so you guys can see what I do. But so yeah. So I really don't know what I'm doing. So let's just start making a beat, I guess. So yeah, I've been messing around a lot with like trap beats. I've always liked different trap beats, but I don't know. Again, I'm just making a beat to add to my catalog or portfolio, I guess you could say, as I build up my portfolio. So when I start advertising on social media, I have something to show and to offer people, right? So yeah. So let's just pick up the tempo a little bit. Let's add the metronome, and let's just go to like a 160 tempo, right? Let's make a 160. Usually mess around. I can make a tempo in anything, but or whatever sounds good. We'll probably mess around with the tempos too, but 160 is a good base for me. So this is pretty normal. And sorry, I'm gonna ramble a lot, and again, I don't know how I'm gonna edit this video, but we'll see what's up. But thank you guys for sticking around and watching. All right, let me see. So something I really like of the the Slate is this thing right here that helps you with chords. So you see, like that sounds. So that sounds pretty cool, just like on its own, right? Like it went from, from this, and then now it sounds super professional, like I'm actually hitting chords. So now we'll play with that with the tempo and just mess around. So I'm trying to come up right now with like some type of melody that we could do it. A minor sounds pretty cool. And in order to lock this, you need to actually like lock it in place. So you have to go here to CMD and then preset lock. And then those are the chords you're messing with. Again, I've been messing around with, I just started messing around with Anna too. I already had Slate Digital, but I use Slate Digital because of the plugins and stuff, not really because of hardware. And I was just looking for a new synth, to mess around with, and it turned out I already had Anna too, so just messing around with it more. So. Again, messing around, trying to find a good sound. I kind of like that. I'm noticing a delay when I play that I usually don't experience, probably to everything else being hooked up, like the voice meter and the OBS and everything. So it is delayed slightly for me. So something I'm not used to. So I think there's a delay like in the echo, but it's actually a delay in me pressing the keys to the MIDI controller to the OBS, probably because it readjusted the settings. So just continue. start recording and we'll figure something out. Okay, so I kind of heard something that I kind of like, so I'm gonna just exit off that and then work on what I heard. Right, so they're right there. So not everything is synchronized at the beginning, which is what I like on Studio One. So I think my cat just dropped something. Okay, it was probably the ghost. But let's try it again. Okay, let's cut this out. I like this start. So let's start off with this. Let me cut that there. Sorry, I spilled some water accidentally on my keyboard and it's still kind of drying up. So I have to kind of show everything. That's the metronome. Oh, I probably did a wrong tempo. Yeah, probably wrong tempo. Oh well, that idea's gone. Kind of like that, right? Cool. So I like that. And then I'll just drag another Anna. Since I do use a lot of stock Studio One stuff. I use Massive and um, mostly stock Studio One stuff. To be honest with you guys, I really don't fuck around with plugins. I don't know why. I just never really dove that deep into them, especially because they were so fucking expensive. So I really don't know. Yeah. So they're just so expensive, like fucking plugins. Like we're back in the day. Plugins are so expensive. Now they have the bundles, and I got the SSL bundle just because it was like 14 bucks or something like that. And then now they think Waves came out with theirs, but I'm still debating whether I should get the Waves bundle. But yeah, so it's nothing different. But now, so I got something with it. Now I'm gonna add like either another sound or maybe the same sound or something to complement that little melody I did. Maybe I'll add another melody on top, so it could kind of like, you know, sync together and I don't know, be good with each other. So yeah, so let me check out some leads right here. Oh, that's kind of loud. Let's lower the tone on that. And I'll just jump around from a little. All these is like, I don't know, I just stuff I've used or I'm using or I'm gonna use, I'll just mark it. Stuff I like how it sounds. And then I'll just play kind of. For a second, I kind of like that. I don't know. It was like a good, like, I don't know. It kind of sounded okay. Just like for half a second, it sounds good. sometimes I'll do that. I'll just make another beat, and then I'm creating something new. Sorry, I kind of heard something else. So let's hopefully I got that on beat. It looks like a fucking mess. So I think I kind of got it. I kind of got something here. Delete. Yeah, so I really like that. So it looks like that's going to be my main melody. Just synchronizing these a little bit. I did a freestyle and now I gotta kind of mess around with this. So that's cool. So this needs some work right here. Explorers. So cool. So we made another melody, and let's see if this one sounds. See how they sound together. If not, we could adjust them. So. So it sounds a little off because their keys are probably off, right? So. It's okay, so I'm gonna just copy this, and then we're just gonna delete this. We're gonna drag this here. Now we're gonna shrink. That bouncing technique on all sides. Like I like it, and then I do like the intro that like this kind of like longer one right here. So I'm gonna copy this pattern with these notes over here. Okay, so now we copy those. We can delete this. Duplicate that. Let's see how that sounds together. Let's kind of delete a few of the fewer ones. The ones that we did at the beginning. Right. Let's just double this up a bit just so we can see how it sounds in contrast. Like we'll do this whole like little 30 seconds. Okay, that was just then this one here. I should really name these. This is the star bell. This is star bell strings, and then this one. Big string, right? Because I have gotten confused a few times. So let's check this out. The strings, alright. And like distorted bell strings. So that would kind of sound cool, like if in a hectic part of the track or something like that, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe we could use that later. Rename. .1, we'll rename this 1, and then we'll rename this 2. Oops. So, like that, we keep track of our shit. Sounds with this like legato. So we'll rename this to, so comment our first one. We'll rename this 2.1. Let's just do 3. Okay, so all right, cool. So we have something else we could work with now. Now we have two things we could work with that kind of sound somewhat similar to each other. Like they kind of semi complement each other. Maybe not 100% yet, but right now we are in the creating stage where we're just creating as much as we can, right? Like usually when you create something, you have about like an hour to 2 hour window gap before you like kind of lose your concentration or something like that. So we want to get into like a flow state, right? Which is just like bam, we like something, we keep going, we keep adding to it, and it doesn't mean we're gonna use everything to make the beat, but we just want to keep the juices flowing, right? This kind of satisfies me right now to keep going. So we're gonna add another Anna. So we're not sure we're gonna keep the legato part now. I kind of don't like the legato part, but we're gonna just leave it there, just to have some stuff, right? Like we have 3 different sections now. We have the staccato with the legato, and it goes back to a staccato, which is like different notes now. What would be kind of cool is to bring in that one that we made earlier, the 1.1, and then drag it, and then just drag that on top and see how that sounds together. So I just kind of want to see if it will sound cool together, like combined as one. So I'll just kind of do that a little bit and see if I could like make this half of this or this fit into this, make this into one, if that makes sense. But anyways, let's make something else. So now we even have 5 parts, right? Like I think I'm gonna stick to this one because like a tone change, which is a little darker feel, so I like it. But we need something else in place, like a nice mellow, like wobble. Like I know it's kind of weird, like something that glides together, like. Oh, you know something that I think would be cool would be the Mai Tai. So Mai Tai is another synth that is Studio One based, a stock plugin. I don't know. I just started messing around with. I mean, I've been having Studio One forever, and messing around with Mai Tai for a long time. But I used to have a lot of issues back in the day because of my CPU and shit like that. But like, I've been my PC is very heavily upgraded. So yes, let's make some stuff. Let's get some nice bells in. Poly, let's go with some strings. No, more like a melody. Like, yeah, something like that might be cool. Or again, we could just create the melody and then change the whatever instrument we chose to a later time. So and of course I wasn't recording. So when I make something I like, of course I wasn't. I don't know, but I think we might have something there. So again, so we just kind of go over what we just played. So I think we like this or here. So let's get this right here. got it. Fuck, that shit sounds dope. I don't know. So like that, and then from that it turns into that, you know. So now I could just kind of like duplicate that and see. So this will sound cool as an intro. So let me just kind of move this out the way. Kind of move this here. And then we could duplicate this. Cool. So that sounds cool. Alright, so I'll kind of go like, and then we could delete this. And it'll go like that. So I'm sorry if I'm rambling or if I don't talk enough. Again, this is my first video, and again, it's kind of how I make beats, you know. So I'm just showing you guys. Right now, my OBS is saying it's at 57 minutes. So this is how long it'll take me to come up with a melody or a type of idea. You know, sometimes it's faster, sometimes it's longer, sometimes I'll just sit here and I'll try to make something like this, and nothing will come out. So, and I'll just ruin a day or lost a day or whatever, however you want to call it. But I feel it's essential that you need to sit down like this and try to make melodies or something like that if you're really trying to improve. Again, I've been doing this for 21 years, music-wise, producing for about 10 years. Um, yeah, like serious producing for about 10 years now, and all for fun, you know, just all because I wanted to get better and just improve my sound and quality of the music that I release. So yeah, so. That's a good intro. Okay, cool. So now let's kind of double up. Again, I kind of do this back and forth a lot. Like I'll go intro and then like verse or something, and then I'll kind of like structure it out as I go. I really don't. I'll arrange it still sometimes later, but just for it could sound good to my reference point of view, I'll do some arranging as I'm making the beat, you know. And because right here, I'm gonna actually remove this, right, and I'm gonna only have this my type part in the intro. So just sound like this. And again, right now I'm not just really like paying attention to EQ. I just want it kind of to sit well within the mix right now. Everything is really not EQ'd at all, or is gonna be until later. I'm probably gonna make this like a playlist video because I don't want to make the video like too long. So I'm probably gonna chop it up and make a beat. This video is probably gonna be like a few different parts and stuff like that because I do not want the videos to be an hour long. So. It's probably going to be a 10-part series of making a beat in Studio One just so I could make this like 10-minute session videos. And then I'll do one on mastering and stuff later, or mixing and then mastering. So it can help you guys, and I hope it can help you guys improve your guys' mix and stuff. So, you know, this is just something that I would normally go through, like making a beat or creating a beat. I know everybody's just like loops or grabbing loops and adding drums and like synths and stuff like that, but I don't work like that. So yeah, so let's continue. So cool. So like, I think I kind of have somewhat an established groove for the song or for the track or whatever. This is where either I'll go ahead and add drums and I'll add drums or yeah, or a bass line or a 808 or something like that, just so we could like kind of get a mix. And then the drums I'm gonna choose does not necessarily mean I'm gonna pick these drums. It's just kind of like these are my go-to starting drums, and then I could always like switch out like uh right, I could always switch out like sounds or kicks and stuff like that. Just go to my loop bank and stuff like that. And this is just Studio One impact drums. It's just whatever samples or like they do sell some sample packs in the store that I had bought from Studio One or Presonus Studio One. Yeah, so there's nothing special, but I do like you know these drums a lot, and I tag them trap MVP like drums and shit that I created. But sometimes I won't use these, and I'll just switch out the parts. I'll just get the bass melody down or the tempo. So normally just to so normally I'll just kind of get started with like a simple hi-hat pattern, just kind of to establish how fast I want the track to be, or uh, I don't know. So we'll figure it out. Okay, sounds good. So I like that. So just had a triplet right there. See how that sounds in the intro. And let's add a 16 triplet here. I kind of like that. So let's delete this, and then just kind of duplicate this, and then we'll do it again. So I like that little like flow with the hi-hat pattern that I just did. So as you guys can see, it's just instead of on like it's on the 6th one that it kind of like makes its first. So I do like that. I think that sounds pretty cool. So now I'm gonna just do that twice, or maybe like, you know, intro. And I can add a kick to the second intro. We can add like a kick or an 808 to the second intro, and I could just rename this intro 2 or intro 1, since the other one is just intro, so it could establish some type of change in the track. So let's make this beat. We can add the 808 to stack it. I'm gonna just exit that because I already know how to use the piano roll. Or you could kind of not even add the kick yet. Kind of 808 intro or something like that. You know what would sound really cool right there would be like a hi hat roll down, like or some shit like that. So let's see if we could try this fast on the quickness. If not, then I don't want to lose the idea. So I'm gonna just look for the hi hat 202 on my bank. Hi hat 02. So I think we got it. So I think this is the hi hat. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna close that MMP hi hat 02. So we're gonna go to our sample one. We're gonna drag that in there. We're gonna go back to our loops. We're gonna drag this in here. So now we could like crash it and tone it down and detune it or whatever. So let's see how this works. So we want this to so from here, this point here, all the way to the end, we want to scale down. So we want to kind of So I don't know if it's this or we might have to extend it like another half. So we'll see how it sounds. Yeah, some shit like that. So that sounds pretty cool. Like I don't know, that is like gives me like a big old drop, but it still doesn't interfere with everything else, and it's just a hi hat. So I think that sounds pretty cool, and it just keeps going all the way down, like a rampant, like a super drop. gonna change, right? So now it's gonna change. So now we could actually make this a 1, and then we can make like a flow style type beat or a flow style type rhythm. Okay, and let's see what we got here. Okay. So just get kind of like the flow. It's kind of loud, so I'm gonna lower the kick a little bit. So let's see how that sounds kind of combined. Yep, I kind of dig that rhythm right there. So I'm gonna just duplicate that because I like that rhythm, right? So that I thought I wasn't gonna like it, and then now that I have a few copies, I could experiment with one. What do you want, Batman? So yeah, what? Yeah. So let's get back into it. Let's see. bit of experimentation. And I don't even know what changes I made anymore because I made so many changes, so I'll just delete it. And I'll just drag this one back over here and start again, duplicate that again, and start from scratch. That pattern a lot better, so I'm just delete this here. Hey man, what do you want? Sorry guys, this is just my cat. So, and I'll kind of rename this now so I don't get confused to like a 1.1 or 1.2 or something like that. And I'll kind of just scoot this over now, and I want to see how this sounds like repetitively, so I'll kind of just do it again. Cool, so that sounds pretty cool. I really dig that. So I do like this part right here, and then maybe we could just add this back to it, and we could just kind of like duplicate that, and then just set these two back in here, duplicate, oops, just remove that, scoot this over some more. Cool. So we went, and I never like starting like right from the beginning. So I don't know if you guys see this gap right here. So it's like a loop's worth. I never start exactly at one. I don't know why. I think when I was really starting off, I had with Studio One, like a long time ago. I think I had a lot of issues like with it, like not starting exactly at zero. Like it would start like at one or two, and I'm trying to fix it. So I always started like now at five and a little room, especially when you export stems and stuff like that. It's always best to give a little room for people to adjust their stuff. Um, mm. So yeah, so let's keep going. So let's see what we have now. I know this is boring for a lot of you guys. If you guys stick around or are watching this whole video and not the chopped up version of it, it's just how I make beats. Sometimes that's why I don't make 20 beats in a day. Especially I work full time and shit like that. So every time I make a beat, I do want to make it sound as good as possible, even though I might not like it 100%. I still want to make it sound as good as possible. Like, doesn't matter if I like the beat. Just like if you're mixing somebody's music or mastering somebody's music, you might not like their music, but you still have to do it. Like, so that's what I mean by like, it doesn't matter if you like the beat. And again, right now I'm still in creative mode, right? Creative mode for me is just still creating the beat, that like the actual beat and rhythm, how I'm doing right now. It's not gain staging or like stuff like that, which gain staging I don't even bother with because everything that I use is like is a loop or a sample previously recorded, provided to me by Studio One or Steven Slate, right? Anybody who I use. Um, like these are the stuff that's, or if you buy loops from a loop pack or stuff like that and you build your own drum set, that's what you're using to build your loops, right? These are all like already bust out to stereo. You don't have to track them out. So that's what I'm saying. There's no gain staging or recording in mono unless you are tracking out a guitar or your vocals. Then you would want to gain stage your vocals or your guitars or bass if you're tracking them live, or even MIDI, like straight DI recording. You still want to gain stage and stuff like that. So anyways, I don't want to ramble into gain stage and stuff like that. I just want to continue on with the beat. So I feel this part here should be like a faster part, but like a faster like hi-hat or like a faster hi-hat, like it's probably the same pattern, but like just faster or more. So because this like. Kind of like a little crazier hi-hat, like. No, it's too many. Sorry about that. I know that was like extreme loud. really bright. I'm not sure anymore. Okay, I'm gonna not make it so complicated, right? So I think I'm overcomplicating things. So I'm just kind of like scoot this up and start this faster and make this a little bit shorter. Okay, so I like that. Maybe. I'm not sure I like it anymore. I think I'm gonna move this probably over here. I'm gonna delete this. Oh, I'm gonna move this over here. Move these together. I think it's a little like character break, or maybe double it or remove it or something like that if you don't like it. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I think I kind of got enough for like three verses, I guess you could say. And we could just extend it one more time for the hook or for the last one if you want to. Whoever wants to ramp on this beat or make something with this beat could, you know. All right, cool. So now I think we got a beat. So yeah, so now usually I'll just like mark it now where it's gonna be. I'll zoom in really close. I'll go to 1/64th and then just drag the marker one channel of the 1/64th underneath it. As you guys saw me do that. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's the beat. Like that's like if I'm not writing to anything, because I also write too and rap and all that stuff. It's just for fun. But like if I'm not gonna rap on anything or don't have a thing in my head, then that like because that's another I would consider like the person singing or rapping or doing anything like that as another type of instrument to the song to complement the song or the instrumental that I have right here, right? So I can't really go forth if I was a producer and I was gonna be producing this track with somebody. I wouldn't know how to go forth anymore without listening to that person's kind of flow or rhythm. Once I hear the flow and rhythm, I could be like, oh, okay, I could add this here and I could add this effect here or this side effect here, because that's why you kind of hear my, if you do guys do listen to my beats, and they're gonna be kind of like spaced out like that. There's gonna be space in the middle for the rapper to flow on, because I don't know their melody, right? So I don't know what effects they're gonna want, or if they have the like reverb or like delay or some type of effect, echo effect complementing the song the way they hear it in their head. That might actually count as an instrument. Therefore, I don't want to add too many elements to the track to distract maybe a rapper's flow or the kind of sound that they're going for. So that's why I kind of leave it a lot of space. And for example, if I was to rap on this, I mean, I don't even know. Like, I would like feel like an Eminem type vibe, like Logic type vibe, really kind of like fast flowing, choppy, Joyner Lucas, like very fast flowing or like manipulative, like vocal tones, like character voices. I think that would be a really good style for this type of beat and stuff like that. And like I'm not these like freestyle for rappers. I actually like need to take time to like rap and figure out what I'm gonna rap about. I don't have like sometimes I can freestyle and it'll come out good, but most of the time I actually have to sit down and write down what I'm doing. So I don't know. That's gonna be it for this video. You guys probably won't see this beat come out until I finish all the upload chops and stuff like that. I'm probably gonna break this down to like a little, 15-minute video session. So the video is only like 5 videos instead of like 20. So I hope you guys stick around for the whole little series. From here on out, like I'm gonna go into mixing and mastering. So the next video session from here is gonna be mastering. So I don't know how many parts this is gonna be, but I'm gonna end the video today because it's already been recording for an hour and 40 minutes. But I really hope you guys enjoyed creating this beat with me. I hope you guys stick around. As you guys can see, we are done with the creation stage. The creation stage is done. Next time we talk together, or you guys kind of hear this like video tutorial, we're gonna like move on and start mixing and tagging, categorizing our channels or tracks and everything, and grouping everything together. And we only have a few channels right here, which is not big at all. We don't have like a whole assorted. I have worked with 35 tracks or 35 type of instruments, each individual kick and stuff like that, and just like here, each individual kick and stuff. But we'll go ahead, categorize everything later. If you guys are interested in learning how to mix and master, that'd be a different one. Today was just creation, beat creation, and shit like that. So we're gonna head and say goodbye and thank you guys for watching. So, show some love if you guys like what you guys watched so far. Sorry for making the video super long. I will try to chop off the best parts and make a shorter version, but most likely it's going to be chopped up versions. But just so you guys can see the whole long stream, and then I'll chop everything up individually and maybe make some shorts out of it. So thank you guys for watching again. Have a good one and peace out.